You're locked into the Boom and Freezer Show, powered by the best in the game, Classic Billiards, Metro Sportz Bar, Anytime Billiards, PNW Pool Thing, the RACK Billiard Club, Jay Pechauer, Tommy's Tattoo Supplies, In the Box, Andy Gow, and Wayne Harriman. Now, let's jump right into today's show.
What's up, everybody? Bobby Hilton here from the Boom and Freezer Show. We got a special guest today, the one pocket extraordinaire, T-Rex, Tony Chohan. What's up, Tony? How you doing?
How you guys doing? I appreciate you having me.
T-Rex, the legend, the man, the myth, the legend. Thanks for coming on, buddy. No, you just played a big money game, so we appreciate it.
No problem. Hopefully we can disclose some great stories between the both of us.
Yeah, I'm sure.
Or get us kicked off the air, one or the other.
Yeah, that'll probably happen too.
Good times.
All right, let's talk a bit about your action match. It was all over the place. You know, we were talking. We always talk about the internet on the podcast. You know, people say you're playing for $1 million. You're not playing for $1 million. What was it? How much were you playing for? I know you were a spot in the 8-ball and 10-ball. Let's talk about that match.
I mean, truth be told, so me and Sam Gilmer, we've been trying to play a set for maybe, I had asked him to play maybe, let's say 6 months ago or so when he had beaten Devin Petit getting the 8 playing 10 balls. So then I said, well, you know, maybe I could give it a shot, even though it might be a tough game. I'd be willing to try to play the game. So I reached out to him and he said that I played a little better than Devin. And I said, well, I don't know about that. I said, buddy, I said, I don't never play rotation. I said, you know, but long story short, a month and a half ago, he sends me, gives me a call and says, hey, if you can, I'll play you a set if you feel like playing. I'll play you for at least 20. I said, all right. So I checked around and tried to get a stake horse and stuff, and I couldn't really get nobody to stake me. And I was like, man, that was amazing. I was like, everybody liked me, and like some of the people liked me in the game, but they didn't want to put no money up or nothing. I was like, all right, well, so I didn't really try no hard. I actually sent messages to a couple of my guys, and neither one responded. So I guess because it wasn't one pocket, they weren't going to respond or something. I don't know. But at that point, I was like, all right. So they didn't respond. So I didn't even pursue it no more about trying to find no money. I was like, well, forget it. You know, if it happens, it happens. If it don't, it don't. I'm at that point where I don't really care. You know, like as much as I like to chase people, I'm kind of getting over it because, there's the gratefulness and there's the ungratefulness, of these people that grow up in this era of pool. They just don't even understand. Like, some of them are making too much money and some of them aren't making nothing and they don't even make an effort to try to, make money. You know what I mean? It's like, I'm thinking to myself, man, like, you're trying to make money for a living or you're trying to make money to, get in action and do stuff. And when people do actually try to make games and do all this stuff, you're nowhere to be found. And I'm like, it just doesn't make sense to me. But I mean, hey, you know what? To each their own, it's just, I can't make somebody do what they're not going to do. And, I mean,
so you got a backer though. You're right. You got a backer for 20 in the
so
middle.
yeah, so we're in Austin. He had just beaten John Hager Jr. in San Antonio for like 50 or whatever. And I said, you know what? I'm in Austin. It's only an hour away. I'm gonna give him a call and tell him, hey, if you want to come over here, I think I can scrounge up 20,000 to play you. And long story short, I had a couple guys there said, go ahead, we'll let you play right here. Come on. So he came down, and a couple days later, we ended up getting in action, and then I wake up the day we're supposed to play, and I kind of told him at first I didn't really care to do the live streaming. I didn't care about doing all that stuff just because the internet's just full of a bunch of trolls really in the midst of things, you know what I mean? And I just kind of get annoyed of it, like just seeing the dumbass comments and shit, when you go back and read it, it's like, man, like, God damn, like, are you guys actually play pool, or you actually, do this, or you have anything related to pool, or have you ever picked up a pool stick? Have you ever gone to a pool hall? Have you ever even tried to gamble? That's just where my mindset is at this point, with
I know the
like,
feeling.
yeah, but it's kind of gotten even worse. You know what I mean? Like, hey, it might have been 10 people 20 years ago. Now it's 1,000 of them. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's like, I mean, the game's grown. There's more money to be made. It's just a different way of trying to make the money nowadays. But long story short, so we play.
How much do you think was actually bet on that match? I mean, you talking
So
about
we bet 20 in the
20,000.
middle, and
No.
I think he bet another 25 to 30 on online.
Now, don't forget, when you're playing on streams, everybody shares it. All those
Yeah.
streams, there's action on 20,
Well,
50, 100, not the big action, but
yeah.
there's action on all of it.
And here's the thing. I mean,
Tony though, Tony don't care about that. He's more worried about the numbers. Like if somebody's betting what they're betting in the middle on the side or even more. That
Yeah.
I've been in that position. That can be a little frustrating
Yeah,
if
because
you don't have a deal.
Well,
Yeah.
you're playing and you're trying to make money. But I had a couple guys that treated me good. You know what I mean? On the side.
Sure.
You know, I mean, it wasn't astronomical, but it was good enough to get a tip at least. You know what I mean? So I'm happy about that. It's not like I'm ungrateful for it. But if you show me something, if you win 1,000 and you threw me $100, that's better than nothing, right? You know what I
Absolutely.
mean? So
Yeah.
it's like it's not that I have to get half or something like that or whatever, but just show me some kind of love. You know what I mean? I mean, I don't get in action all the time. I don't. There's not too many players want to play me. There's not too many players that even gamble anymore, realistically. And I mean, here's the difference. This last year, how many people have? I'm just gonna make this point real quick, and y'all are gonna laugh when I fucking say this too. And I don't know if you guys get mad if I cuss, but
No,
I
cuss all the fuck you want.
Okay,
You're
yeah,
good, you're
I
good.
can't stand these motherfuckers. Really, I mean, these motherfuckers are going to call people out. Here you go. You got
God.
Josh and Federer calling each other out. You got Federer, Alex calling each other out. When they going to play? What you all calling each other out for 2 years from now?
Right.
Don't call somebody out if y'all aren't ready to play. Like, play right now. Like, when you call somebody out, be ready to play in a week or two.
Well, Tony, in their difference, or in
I
their
get it.
defense,
Yeah. Okay. Well, all
Federer's
right.
pretty
So
slick at
here,
making.
let me
Hold on,
protect
hold on,
them.
hold
Let
on,
me
hold on,
protect them
hold on,
now.
hold on.
All right.
I'm not protecting them because
No,
I've
but I said let me
commentated
protect them because they have a busy schedule and they got all the money in the world and they don't give two shits if they play or not and they're going to get paid and they're going to
No,
do this.
but hold on. I mean, the difference between you and including me. I mean, I marketed as much as I could, and you know how that works.
Yeah.
But Federer's good at marketing, right? Like he'd
No,
rather play a
he's
set for 50 and make 50 to 67, whatever they
listen,
make
he's
on
going
the
to get all
side.
the money. He's going to get all the money when it's all
So
said and
good
done.
for
He's gonna
him.
no,
But
I'm
but good
not
for him.
knocking it. Listen, hey,
But that's
he
why they're.
works
But my
hard
point is,
and he's a great
that's why
player.
they're
He
going back.
deserves it.
But
Yeah.
that's why they're going back and forth, right?
No,
That's why they're
but
doing.
here's
it.
the difference. Just like Alex, right? Like here, hey, I like all of them. It's not like I dislike any of them. They all play great.
Yeah, no, I
But
know.
the point is when you're in action and you want to get this clout and you want to talk shit to somebody, be ready to just play. I ain't gonna call. I'm not gonna
You're
say, "Hey
different.
Scott, you got 8-7, and I'm gonna
No,
play
no,
you." But then
yeah.
you don't, you know what I
I
mean?
was
And then
never
you
that way
say,
either. I was
"No," but
never
I'm
that
just
way
saying,
either.
like, I'm just
Yeah.
saying, if I say, Scott, you got 8-7 for 50,000, and you say yes, and then hey, neither one of us do nothing for 2
It's
years.
go time. No, it's go time. Like,
Well, yeah,
yeah,
but that's my
absolutely.
point. These
I
people
get
are
it.
saying yes on both sides, but nobody's playing, right?
Yeah,
Or it's played in 6 months or whatever. You know what I mean? Like here,
yeah.
I get it. They're all busy. They're playing every single tournament across the globe. Great. Hey, kudos to you for living
So
a
what do
great
you get?
life. You know what I mean?
What are you
I'm
getting
just
at here? What are you getting at?
I just don't like the fact of calling somebody out and then the matches never happen.
Give
You
me
know
an
what I mean?
example.
Well, like Alex and Federer playing one pocket, which would have been great. You know what I mean? Hey, they're both going to get paid good. They're both going to be able to bet good money. It's just a match that people want to watch. At this point in my life, I play pool. I played everybody, right? I never turned nobody down. I played
Yeah.
every single person, right? But
Same here.
win or lose, you know what I mean? Win or
Yeah.
lose, you play, but you're playing more or less for the same trolls that are online. You're giving them a good match, right? You're
Yeah.
playing for the hardness of the no the name in a way of beating someone or for the money also, right? It's not just for the name. I mean, I don't really give a shit about the name. I need the money more than I need the name, right? Like at the end of the day, but I'm just saying, like, if I call somebody out, please play. Like, especially if you guys both agreed to play, you know what I mean? Like, Filler and Federer, they just talked about playing a big set and then it's in the works. And now guess what? Mum's the word for the next 2-3 months. You ain't never heard nothing else, right? Well, I'm just saying, like,
That's a little different though than
hey, I
what
don't care. We'll
we
just
used
make
to
the
do.
date. Make the date. Let people
Well,
know
I'm
it's
sorry
happening.
you don't like it, and I don't necessarily like it either. But you're in a different box than they are, right? They're
No,
playing
listen,
rotation
they
pool.
don't ever have to gamble with nobody ever again. But just
No,
keep
no,
that
I don't.
going.
I'm not talking about financially either, though, right? But they're both. Listen, you're big in the United States as a one pocket player, but they're both on a global freaking scale. Like it's totally
No,
different.
nobody said that. Nobody
Well, that's
said
why it
nothing.
might. That's
Listen,
why
that
it
don't
might
matter.
take.
You could go. The
But
only
that's why
other
it might
country
take
you're going
three
to go
months,
to.
though. That's why it might take 3 months or
It's
6
already been
months.
3 months has expired already.
Are you? Did you start the stopwatch? I mean, what's
Listen, I
happening?
have a good memory. I know that it's been over. Listen, when did Shane and him play?
Yeah, I mean, I commentated
Okay,
that it was a long time, but
so it's been
yeah,
over 5 months, probably almost.
yeah,
And
yeah,
they did,
yeah.
and they talked about this about not even a month within.
So what I know though is that Filler is giving Federer a little bit of a hard time on that.
I
You
already
know what I mean?
know, but that's my
Yeah.
point. Jack-offs are jack-offs. It is what it is, right? Just play
Yeah.
the role. Don't act like somebody you're not.
Well, something with that and Alex, I agree with you with Alex and
I mean,
Federer.
Alex is
They
getting
should be
older.
playing.
If Alex doesn't hurry up and play, there's no more Alex.
That's why I kind of tried to flush that up on the line. But Alex, I talked to him in Saudi Arabia just this last time at the World Nine Ball Championships, and I said, "Would you play Federer a set like a derby style bank pool,
He's
one
got
puck?"
no shot.
I'm saying it on camera, and
Yeah,
I
well, I
asked him
am
in front of a
too.
lot of
He's got
people.
no shot.
You
No,
just
look in my
knocked it.
eyes.
So
He's
now
got
you're
none.
knocking. Now you're knocking.
I
Now
don't
you're
care.
knocking action. Now
Who
you're
cares?
knocking.
It ain't
Well,
never going to
anyway,
happen anyways. They're
he
going to
said
talk
he would
about it for
play.
2 years. What do you
He said
mean?
he would play. He said he would play.
Yeah,
But
he
anyway,
said. Yeah, they've been talking about it for a year already. So they
yeah.
said. Let me know when that flyer comes out with the date and the location. That's what I like to see.
No,
You know,
I get
listen,
it.
here's the difference.
Tony, the difference is though.
Mine come with the 11 by 17 postcards where the date was. You know, whenever I play somebody, it's already out there. You know, it's ready to go. Right, we're ready to go. Location set. If you'd like to come watch it, go ahead and watch it in person. If not, watch it on the stream. That's the same thing that's going to happen with these guys. I get it. Listen, they're on a global stage. You got a week out of your life that you can go and play this set for 50,000. You're not putting none of your money up. You can get staked on both sides. Play. There's
Yeah.
play. You play for the betterment of the game. Playing for the betterment of the game means you play top players and you play hard matches.
Times have changed, T-Rex.
I mean, we can't all steal at all
Times have
times. You know what I
changed.
mean? I mean, I get it, but at the end of the day, it's just
But
kind of
you hear, I mean, Tony's saying it, and you know what he's saying is all the fans want. That's
Well,
what
listen.
I'm
They-
speaking.
but
Listen, I'm not even speaking from a player's point of view. I'm
He's
speaking
saying
from
we
the
can't
fan.
all. He's saying we can't all steal, and I get it. He and I came up in the same generation. He's talking. I mean, you're talking to a guy here that chased Efren around when the whole world told me I was an idiot. I could have got a ball. I get it, but the times have changed due to social media and everything that people are doing nowadays. Right? That's why you march to a different beat of your own drum, which we like. That's why you're on this podcast, but not everybody's that way, unfortunately. We wish there was 50 of you.
But the point
100.
is,
Yeah,
the point
100.
the point is that's why pool. If you understand, pool in America is about gambling. It's not about when
I
we
think
play the
that's
tourna-
changed a
we play
lot.
the-
It's
we play
changed
the-
a lot.
It's changing for sure.
It don't matter. You guys could say that, but at the end of the day, the only people making money out of the tournaments is the guy that gets seventh, eighth out of 256
Dude.
killers. And don't get me wrong. Okay, if you play great and you do get there, you know, kudos. There is good money in the tournaments, and I'm not knocking the money in the tournaments.
No. But,
But
you know me. How many matchroom majors have you played? And recently.
one maybe.
Recently.
Oh, I probably haven't played none.
Bro, I mean, you've got
No,
guys that are making over $500,000 a year just in tournament money.
Yeah,
There's
let me know those
huge,
names.
there's huge
No, I want
money.
to know the names.
But Bobby's got players in his stable. These guys are making the lower rated players. Relax. I know you're low on sleep. The lower rated players are making pretty good money in some type of endorsements. Not the 100 ranked player.
No,
but I'm talking.
yeah.
So
Listen,
it's changing.
It's not a
but you're
knock.
talking.
It's not a knock. It's not a
but what
knock.
you're. But gambling's
I'm-
done, bro. That's what I'm trying to get to.
No,
Like it's
it's
done.
definitely
You
not.
keep chasing this dream about playing people for big money, and it's not.
Oh,
You've got two or
I
three people that you can play. That's it.
I 100% believe that gambling is done to an extent.
Yeah.
There's still going to be matches. There's still going to be money to be. Listen, I don't really care about playing people that play me even. You know, I
No,
like to
I
go play the guys.
understand.
I go
But
play
how
the
often
guys
do you
that
get
can
the
give a fuck.
matches like Sam? How often? You never get those.
No, it's not always going to happen. I'm not saying like that. I'm just saying in general. I mean, my point being is here's the difference. Yes, with the travel and everything else, I couldn't do it myself. I can't do it. Like
No, I
can't.
get it. I
Yeah,
get that. I get that.
For me, I
But you
can't do it.
understand what I'm saying,
No,
right?
I'm not knocking
Yeah.
what Predator or WNT or any of them are doing, right? They're all
I'm
doing.
specifically talking about the players, though. They're
No,
actually
but
making
no,
money.
players are. That's what I'm saying. There's players that are making money, but the expenses are high too. You know what I mean? So don't make it sound like it's just like they're making money. You know what I mean? Because they're. But you have to finish high in these events, and that's the
Absolutely,
truth.
of course.
Yeah.
That's always been pool, though, right, Tony?
Yeah.
Like if
You're
you're
right,
at the
you're
top
right.
of your, but
You're
that's
right.
how it is. This is sports, right? What are you supposed to get
But it's
paid
the
in
only
100 place?
sport where you have to pay a lot of money to go to something, and then you have to perform.
But dude, Dude, you got
No,
to
It's
start
it's
somewhere.
but
it's not
it's a
it's not
different
saying
era.
nothing wrong, right or
It,
wrong.
it's a different area here though. Like when you guys first playing up, there was really no sponsors because you didn't want anybody to know about you guys.
Yeah,
You
yeah,
were
yeah.
keeping everything in a down low. It was like we're trying to get in there and take some money and get out. Nowadays, it's all about like we just did a podcast with Sophia, and she's 17 years old and she's got a media follower. She's got people following her. She's got I want to say a plethora of sponsors, right? Scott, she was talking about all of them,
Yeah,
right?
yeah. These guys, Sophia, Savannah, Easton,
No,
and
it's
then
a different era.
but
It's a different era.
absolutely, they're making
Yeah,
money off fucking TikTok. They're making money off of everything
there
Yeah.
now.
is
They got
there is
money coming in
sponsorship.
everywhere,
Yeah,
everywhere
no, there's
outside of the sponsorship,
no,
right?
but
There,
I'm saying there's different avenues to make money. You can live a decent life. I'm
it's
not
just
saying
a
nobody
whole
can.
different world. I wish you
Yeah,
would come to one major matchroom event and just play it because I
and it's
think you'd
not
do good
saying that I
anyway.
wouldn't. I'm not saying I wouldn't. I'm not
But you'd
saying
get
I
to
wouldn't.
see kind of what's really going on behind the scenes if you did that, and
Oh,
then
I
you,
mean, they do a great job with production. They do a great job with all
yeah,
everything,
yeah, yeah.
looks and everything like that. Yeah, I mean, it's nothing. No, they're not. They're doing everything the right way. I'm not saying that they're not. It's just I don't know. I mean, I just listen. It's not a knock to none of the tournaments. At least
No, I
somebody's
know that.
trying, right?
I know
I
that.
mean,
Love the
my thing,
action.
my
You
thing
love the
is
action.
yeah, I like the action, but my
Yeah.
thing is here's the difference. I don't care if nobody ever gambles again. The thing is, don't talk about it. Just
Yeah.
keep it that way. Just keep it that way. You want to be a tournament player? Be a tournament player. But don't come into a realm acting like you're somebody when you're not. I don't fake something. I'm not a 9 ball, 10 ball player. I don't go fake myself into the WNT ranking events.
I agree, but to give me names.
I already did.
Well, I want more.
I mean, there's a lot. I mean, I'm just saying the people that actually go on social media and start making these assumptions of this game, that game, and then those two players actually, I'm not even going to give examples no more because there's no point of calling these
Right,
people
right,
out
right,
because nothing's
right,
going to
right.
happen. But point being is when those two people act like they're both ready to play and you don't even have to put up no money, but just you can play. You know what I mean? Like just get in the box, give a good show. You're not cutting nobody up. You're not, dumping or anything. You're playing hard to win for that money. And you're getting paid from the stream side. So at the end of the day, you're making a check no matter what, and you get a chance to make more.
I
So
love you.
to me, how could you not go and play? You know what I mean? Like every
Yeah.
time, listen, I wish I had a stream match every single week to play somebody because I get a chance to double dip. You know what I mean? I get a chance to win the money
Paid
and
and win
get
the
paid.
money.
So it's like I don't know. I mean, I just think that everybody wants pool to grow a lot. Well, if you want pool to grow a lot, you want to see great matches all the time. You don't want to watch Willie Lump Lump playing Willie. You know what I mean? It's just not something. You don't. That's just not something I'm interested in watching. Like you got guys that stream matches that can't run more than 3 balls sometimes. You know what I mean? It's like
But that's
thanks,
kind
but
of
no
part of the
thanks.
it's kind of part of the change though, right? Like when
Yeah.
social media comes out, people are scared to lose their
Well,
money
everybody
in
could be
public
anybody.
and yeah,
Everybody could be anybody now.
I think Scott just hit a home run right there. The people don't want to lose online. They don't.
no, they're afraid
Nobody,
to like take big licks online.
of course they are. You know what I mean? Where you got to have that
Well,
bounce
who
back
likes to lose?
personality. Nobody.
No,
Well, that
nobody likes to lose.
but now that it's so exposed, right? And it's turned into this like elephant in the room that nobody really talks about. It's so exposed now that a guy like you who doesn't care, I know you, and that's one of the reasons I think you play so good. You just want to get up and play, and you need the money, of course, and that's why you're so hungry. But just like me, like I made a big score. A day later, I'm already thinking about playing again because who knows? We've had so much money come and go. The problem is now is that it's just so magnified that everybody, you got these Fargo rates out there. And now everybody's just scared to make a game and lose. Now, when you talk about Alex and Federer, deep down, I think you'd agree with me. I think Alex is a little bit, he's on his way out.
I think he's can't win.
Right. He's a but that's okay, right?
No,
Like
yeah, it's an opinion.
he probably knows something like he's not going to ever admit that, but maybe deep down he feels something there, like I did 10 years ago when I
Well, I
started
mean,
going on my way out.
here's the other thing that's going to hurt him. He doesn't play much American pool no more.
Right.
He's
He's
playing
in China right now.
Chinese. Yeah, he's
He's in
playing
China right
Chinese.
now.
Yeah, so it's like at the end of the day, yeah, I mean, he's not playing much one pocket, but his game's kind of gone down in the last year or two, anyways, in my opinion, just because the one Alex that I used to fear a little bit, I don't fear no more, let's say, right? Like if I play him, I feel like I'm supposed to beat him anyways at this point. You know what I mean? But that's just me. I mean, that could just be my head thing or whatever, let's just say, right? But at the end of the day, I mean, gambling and tournaments are different. So, I mean, could I beat him gambling? Maybe not. I don't know. You know what I mean? But I
I
mean,
get it.
we're all getting older. I mean,
Yeah.
there's not too many more days of playing too many good matches at a decent skill level that you're still in top form, somewhat. So it's like get your play out while you can. You know what I mean? I mean, Federer's what, 25, whatever.
Yeah, he's
Okay,
25.
so he's
Yeah.
25 years old, and here's Alex that's 50. I mean, people
He's
can
not
talk all the
50, but
shit they,
yeah,
but whatever. I mean,
47. Yeah.
people can talk the shit they want to talk, right?
Yeah.
But it's a different age. The eras are going to
Of
change.
course.
And an
Of
era's
course.
already changed. You know what I mean? So it's like, just like me, I'm 44. I mean, I'm on my way out too. You know what I mean? It is what it is,
Yeah,
but
absolutely. This episode is brought to you by Tommy's Supplies. Tommy's Tattoo Supplies, it is. They are globally known. They're one of your biggest suppliers in the world for tattoo anything. Thank you, Tommy.
Let's talk a little bit about before you're 44. There's not too much on the internet about you. How did you start playing, and what gave you this fascination with one pocket, and who were your idols? Obviously, maybe I don't know. What's your story? When did you start playing?
I started playing at around the age of 15. And it just kind of, it wasn't something like, I just kind of fell into it, kind of like, because played video games, as a kid, and Mortal Kombat and Street Fighter 2 had just come out. So it was like we'd go to the places where there was those games, and we would just go, and it was me and my cousin tomorrow would go, and it was kind of like and we'd go into the pool hall. It was the thing that was maybe a mile from our house, so we walk over there and go play. And the owner of the pool room, he kind of always seen us coming in there to play the video games and never really hit no balls or nothing like that. He's like, one day he's like, "Hey, listen, we got a free pool tournament on Sundays, for 18 and under kids. If you guys want to play in it, it's free. Winner gets $15 and second place gets $5." We were like, "Well, shit, let's go ahead and play, because we win that, we go play the video games, right?" So it kind of just started from there. And I mean,
What'd you do?
as younger kids, we were playing, we used to break dance, we used to bowl before we played pool. I mean, it was just a little bit of everything, and as a kid, I played basketball and stuff like that. But, so pretty much pool started from there. And then we started to see that there was a little bit of gambling going on, here and there, cheap stuff, 20, $50. But, as a kid, you're like, that's a lot, right?
Sure.
But that was just kind of one of the things, and it kind of started from there, let's say, right? So, um,
Well, something you had, Tony, was rest in peace to Mark Hang, who was a friend of mine, Tony's cousin. But you two grew up together, and
yeah.
I know that Amar was great at everything he did. He was a great golfer. He played pool. I mean, dude, he played such. We both know, a lot of people don't, a lot of people do. He played such a high level. He could have been an elite player, and when he wanted to, he was an elite player. So you guys grew up together, and I would assume that you guys were always pushing each other, right?
Yeah, I mean, for the first couple years, I was still in
That's the most
school.
important.
So,
Yeah.
yeah, I mean, well, I was still in school, and he would kind of, you know, I mean, really the push happened when I was about 17, 18, right
Mm-hmm.
there. And then we went on the road for the first time and flew to Austin, and, ended up living in Houston for 9 months at that time. And, we really got exposed to, the gambling side of things, let's say, right? And we were in action all the time. It was my first road trip. It's kind of just one of those things. And, let's just say, one thing led to another. And,
Were you
uh,
hooked right after that road trip? Were you hooked? Like
yeah,
you
pretty much. But on
100%?
that road trip, he kind of told me, he's like, "Listen, man, if you don't start playing better, you're going to go home. I'm sending you home." And I kind of just, you know what I mean, made my mind up at that point. I was like, listen, either I'm going to have to play better, or he's going to send me home. So I'm like, shit, you know what I
I'm gonna
mean?
play
So it's like,
better.
yeah. So I just kind of, I mean, you know, maybe he would, maybe he wouldn't. I don't know. Regardless, but you know what I mean. But you have to have that push from somebody. You know what I mean. And he was kind of that person to push me, and I learned a lot. You know what I mean. He teach me as we're going. And I watched a lot of pool when I was a kid, like watching Monk, Warren Costanza play one pocket. And he was kind of a creative guy for back then, and a lot of shots that people don't even know till this day. Like you see, he would shoot those 25, 30 years ago, and I'd be like, what the hell? So it's just kind of like, and it kind of opened my mind to things. And then I created my own style, let's say, over the years. And, it's just, you know, people make their own names, right? So it comes as you go, it's like, it's just kind of goes over the period of time, let's say.
All right, so what's your next step after that? So you got your first taste of the road. Did you make money that trip? You guys made some money?
Yeah, I mean, we made money. I mean, shit, we ended up living there for 9 months, paying room rent and buying clothes and buying this and buying that all the time. And just a lot of fun, all the time and stuff like that. And um, I think we ended up winning maybe after 9 months, we probably came home with 15 apiece or something like that, 15,000 or something like that, which after paying your nut
Expenses, it's
every
pretty
single
good.
day,
And
and still coming home with money, because there was a period of time and it was like after that 9 month road trip, I still ended up coming back. We still ended up coming home for like a month and then left right back. You know what I mean? Like we would go back out again, it was just, the roads where you make the money. Out west, it was just kind of sucks because there's no action really. You know what I mean? There's not much. And when you're the better players, people aren't going to give you a lot of action. You know what I mean? So like the only people I played when I was coming up was guys like King Kong and Ernesto and some of the Mexican guys from LA. And when they'd come up, we'd play Moro Paez and stuff like that. And those were kind of like they were like the sparring matches for 1,000, 2,000, which was a big bet back then. So it's like it's just you stay in action as much as I mean, I've never really been much of a practice player. I always gambled, whether it's $100, $50 or $1,000, I just can't play pool to just hit balls. That's just not me. I just feel like I'm getting bad habits if I do.
I was the same exact way. I could
Yeah.
never practice as hard as I tried. I couldn't do it.
Yeah. Very,
What you
very
got, Bobby?
so at that point, at this point, do you think now, have you ever had a job,
no,
a real job?
never had
No,
a job.
never had a job. Okay. So after that first road tour, you said, this is my life. This is what I'm doing.
I mean, nobody could ever say that that's what they're going to say to themselves, but
Yeah,
that's what it
no.
looks like at that
But
point,
you weren't actively looking for a job. You weren't out doing things
No.
you knew you were going to do.
Yeah. I
Whether
mean, I felt like I'm a good enough player to get by and squeeze by, and stuff like that. But, there's always a side hustle or something like that. You know what I mean? It's just always something, right? At the end of the day. But I mean, as time goes by, you learn to adapt to what you're doing, and and as you get better, you have a chance to make more money because you're not as well known. Like the first time I went to Derby, and Scott. So here's a little story. Like the first time I seen Scott,
Yeah.
first time I seen Scott was in Hattiesburg, Mississippi, which this was a part of the road trip of Houston. I think maybe the second one after that or something.
did you know
So
of Scott? Did you know of Scott?
I knew of Scott, but I
Okay.
didn't know him, right?
Yeah.
So, and he never seen me. I never seen him. And
That's how it was back then, right?
yeah,
Like
because
Right.
there's no
Right.
phone, no inter. I mean, there's phones, but it's not internet. You know.
yeah.
But he gives me like 10 to 6 or something like that in the beginning, or something substantial to where I knew I wasn't going to lose or whatever,
I
right? So,
truly don't even. He's
yeah,
told me this story many times. I truly
yeah.
don't remember this story.
So, anyways, we play like I don't know, 200 to 300 a game. Long story short, he gets stuck like 2 or 3 thousand. And he's like, and I adjust, and then Scott was crying a little, you know what I mean? So so I felt bad, and and Scott was one of those guys, kind of like when I'm growing up, he's older than me, so it's kind of like you kind of look up to the better players that you know of that were out there in a way, so you kind of feel sorry because he's on the road too, and it's like at the same time, I think I just blew like 2,000 of it back, and I was like, listen, you got a gift, you know what I mean? Like, I don't, and he was like, no, that's cool, because like I ended up playing him like I think like 8-7 or 9-7 at the end just to try to like give some of the money back. And I was happy if I just won a little bit. I was kid, you know what I mean? I just wanted to play. I didn't give.
How old were we when that happened?
I was 18, so I mean, how old are
How
you?
old are you now? How old are you
I'm
now?
44 now.
Oh my God. You
Yeah.
were 18, so I was 20, like 23, 24.
26 years ago.
Yeah. And I
Yeah.
think you were with, I don't know if you were with,
Was I with Johnny Archer?
nah, I want to say maybe Bartram or somebody like that, maybe. No,
I don't remember that trip.
maybe not
I really
Bartram.
don't. Yeah.
I'm not sure exactly who it was you were with. You were, you know,
I was
but
there trying to trap somebody else though. Who was I there? Little John or somebody?
probably.
Yeah.
Yeah, because
Yeah.
he was the only one really.
Yeah.
Yeah. But
But the,
that was kind of
the
one of the first times we met each other, really.
Yeah. And then we made. I can't remember how old you were when we. I told Bobby it was one of. It had to have been near one of your first major road trips, and I don't even remember where we went. But I know you weren't 20 years old when we went. I don't even know where we went, but
Well, West Virginia,
yeah, is that where it was?
Pennsylvania.
We drove.
But
We
it
drove.
wasn't. I mean,
I can't remember though. I don't even remember any of the stories
nah. I
of it.
mean but that trip was kind of like there wasn't a whole lot of action. I don't think.
No, I don't know
It was
where
kind
we.
of
I
like
don't even know
I
where
think we
we
left
went.
like the U.S. Open and went there or something like that.
Yeah, and then at the Derby, obviously.
Yeah, so that's
Um,
what I was leading up to. It was like the first
yeah,
time I went to the Derby. Um, I went to the Derby. Not many people knew me because I didn't really, it wasn't really out there like that, you know? And so the first year I went to the Derby, this is when it was at the Executive Hotel. And that's when it was better because there's no casino for people to blow their money. And more people were willing to gamble at that point,
that
really.
tournament was insane. I
Yeah,
mean,
so it was fun
I,
times because you had all the big gamblers around and stuff like that. So that first year I went, and I mean, that first year, I think I win like 90,000. I mean, I probably walked away home with maybe 20 or 30, but Scott and Marcus were in, they were betting on
we were
me.
staking and
Yeah, yeah,
staking you.
yeah,
We were staking you.
yeah, yeah.
Yes,
So
yes.
I had beaten like Little John. I beat a few other guys and stuff. The only person I think I ended up losing to was Tony Watson at the end of the trip or something. And he was giving me the 8, but he just shot amazing. Like he just, fired everything in and off the end rails and all that shit. So, but it was just, it was kind of one of those things. But that, that was you know, when you
I can't
first
remember
start
what
betting,
year that. What year Derby started in
I want to
'99?
say like 2002 is when I went.
Yeah, yeah,
Because I was
yeah.
probably 21 then, and that was when I could probably actually go there and do whatever. You know what I mean? Like I
Well,
don't know.
because
Yeah, you
I
might have not
know
had to be 21, but I think that was when I went.
I know we made a ton of Marcus and I made a ton of money that trip as
Yeah.
well. But in 2004, I won the Action Award and I won like 75 or 80 that trip. But I feel like we made more money the trip with you because I beat
No,
some
you
people.
guys probably did because you guys had a lot of different things you guys were betting on. You know what I mean? So it was kind of like I
Yeah,
mean,
it
I
was
was just
wild.
betting on matches of myself. I wasn't really betting on the sides and shit like that.
Marcus gave Little John that trip. We unloaded. We had like 35 each bet, and we had no money left. And he gave Little John the 6 in the last 4, and they're playing 8 ahead, and Marcus was 7 games down, and he come back and won. Shout out
Yeah.
Marcus Shamat. But anyway, go ahead.
Yeah, so that was that trip. I gave him the 7 one set and then the 6 one set and beat him. But back then, it
Yeah,
was, I don't know. I played a little better, probably rotation back then, or maybe the pockets were bigger. I don't really know. Honestly, it was just kind of a mixture of whatever it was. But there was a lot of like guys that you could play 1,000 a game one pocket with back then. You could play
hmm
banks with people for 2, 3,000. But I was kind of an unknown, and and people were willing to play me, so it was like I was getting an action left and right, and the best part
good
was
times,
that
right? Good times.
yeah, well, the best part was that it's spread out. You know what I mean? So people, even though you might see somebody playing, you don't really pay attention because there's so many people playing that you just you might go by there, but you're not really caring, as much about what's
Yeah.
going on.
well, that's a great point because
Yeah.
nowadays at the Derby, if there's one big money
One
match
match and
going on,
match, everybody
everybody
gets around it.
knows.
Yeah. It's like,
And Bobby, back then, dude, this place was insane. If you were a part of it, like it was something I can't explain. Like you'd have $20,000 sets even back then going on everywhere, or you'd have $5,000 and $10,000 sets going on just all over the place. It was wild.
yeah, it
I,
was,
I want to ask you both a question on this one. So this is obviously with the pros player now, they'll make a big chunk when they win a big tournament. But all right, so you guys said you made what 20, 30,000 each at least at Derby. What do you guys do the next day? I mean, you party a little bit maybe, but I mean it's something different because the pros, I mean, they're structured, they're selling t-shirts, you know what I mean? With you guys, there's no shirts, you're not selling hats, you're not going online. And, you maybe like hang out, have party and stuff. But what do? You got your pockets are fat. Tony, what are you doing? You just won 30,000. What's going on?
let's just say we had good times.
Yeah,
That
we used to
trip,
have some
especially
fun. Yeah, that trip was that
yeah.
was a fun trip. Amar, Tony.
ATs.
Yeah. Amar, Tony's cousin. Oh my gosh, we all the way up until the day he passed away, we would laugh about some of the stuff. We had some fun. Yeah, we had
Scott,
fun, man.
all right, Scott. So you just left Derby, right? You got 50,000. What are you doing? You supposed
God,
to be
I
you
think
got 50,000
we
cash.
just kept we just kept going, right? But when we were pumped up, and I know Tony will say the same thing. When you're pumped up, you oftentimes you wanted to like test yourself a little bit more, right? So it was just a kind of still a vicious cycle. No matter how much money you made,
No, you
the
like the
money.
adrenaline.
Yeah, we
You
even
want to play.
right, exactly. If people waited on us and didn't want to play, sometimes you'd find yourself in a position just giving up a game you just can't freaking win. But then there's also the small places throughout the country where we'd go and we could steal money all day long. So it was just a vicious cycle. We'd go make tough games and then we'd go steal money. You know what I mean? That just continuously happened over and
No,
over
I
and
mean,
over.
like, I mean, truth be told, is like, you win the money. Like the other day, let's say I played the set for 20,000, play for 6, 7 hours. I'm like, I didn't really eat a whole lot while I played, so I kind of got a little bit of like, you know, I got the heat in my body going, right? I got the adrenaline going, and I'm like, just, like it's kind of like an endorphin thing in a way, right? So now when I go try to go to sleep, there's no chance of me going to sleep. No.
Right.
I want to, you know what I mean? Like I'm just happy that I'm ready to kind of want to play again in a way, but at the same time I'm still tired. So it's like, but your mind's just kind of like racing. It's just, I mean, if you just got to be able to stay in action. It's just a thing you just want to. Here's the difference. I don't have to play for 20,000. I like to play somebody for 200 to 300 a game every single day.
Absolutely.
I mean, like, and that's more steady and nobody's getting hurt, but you're getting your test out too, so it's just a thing like that.
This episode is brought to you by Classic Billiards, South Florida. Listen, it's Fort Lauderdale to be exact. Dave Bartosiak, Leah Bartosiak, they're expanding twice the size. The place is hopping. They don't like the traditional stuff. They don't like the church quiet stuff. They like to rock and roll fast and loose. Beer, balls, and wings. Classic Billiards in South Florida.
You're always hustling. And I'm not saying hustling pool wise, but you're raffling your shirts off. You're doing lessons. You're playing cheap sets, which a lot of players out there in the world would rather do than a lesson, right? You get
Yeah.
some people that want to play you for 100, 200 a set. And I'm sure Scott probably gets that too, where they want to play you guys just to play you, and they'll lose 4, 5, 6, 700, count it as a lesson for themselves.
Yeah. I
Yeah.
mean, honestly, like I tell some people like it's probably better off you play somebody 25, 50 a game that you're going to lose, and you're going to see things you probably wouldn't see that I can't just describe just off the top of my head as a lesson. You know what I mean? There's some things I could, but some things it's not going to come up in that situation maybe or whatnot. In one pocket, no layout's the same. You know what I mean? So the change is always there. So there's always going to be a different shot or different shot selections that could possibly happen. And you might see a shot that you wouldn't never thought of that you might see me shoot for 25, 50 a game just because. Whereas, if I try to tell you it in a lesson, the lesson's not long enough for me to even think about giving you that shot, or let's just say, you know what I mean? There's going to be, I mean, there's give or takes, So, thing is with the lessons is a lot of people need help with fundamentals and strokes and stuff like that. Everybody thinks they play good. They don't understand that the first things first is getting your stroke right and your fundamentals and stuff and your follow through and stuff like that. And a lot of guys don't have it. They think they do. They don't have it though, right?
Can you fix
And
your
so
camera a
that's
little bit? Can you put your camera down a little bit?
oh yeah.
Or sit
No,
up.
it's
That's
yeah,
fine.
it's just me.
Either one. That's good.
Sorry, it's just my back's hurting.
That's all good. That's good.
You're
Uh,
you're
so
right though, Tony. You're right. I think
yeah.
there's two different things there, and I think it's important for people to play cheap. When we say cheap, 25, 50 a game, you don't have to have a lot of money to play cheap. But the reason it's so good for the amateurs out there, the guys that are trying to get better, is that they're going to taste the pain. It's got to sting a little bit. If it
Yeah.
doesn't hurt, then you're not going to remember it. And I think that that's the most important part.
Yeah. I mean, you have to. I mean, I grew up playing for 10 and time, $50.
Same.
It's $20
Me too.
set.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah.
People don't know those days now.
Right.
You
You're
ever
right.
see somebody play for 10 and time? Not nowadays.
No,
Oh,
no.
So there you go. Times
that's
change,
different.
right? But
Yeah.
that's also because people aren't knowing how to take the heat. you got guys that are out there that never play nobody because they're looking to get the best of every little set that they play, or I mean, I don't know. It's just you know, the thing about the pool world as far as action is there's still going to be those guys giving action out there right now. There's still that circle of people that are still in the game and still giving action. So action is not completely dead. It's just you have to be in the right circle of people to gamble the right way. Because you have other circles that are out there that are lesser and they're not betting 20s all the time, but they're betting significant too, and they're betting and shit, it might be two guys you never heard of betting 2, 3,000, you know what I mean? So it's just kind of like there's the action part's still there. It's just a matter of
Yeah,
who,
but a
how,
guy a
where.
guy like you or a guy like me, in order to be in the circle that's betting real high, you
Yeah.
have to be willing to really gamble, right? Like
Well, you have to, I
I've
mean,
been
there's a
in those
difference.
circles a lot, right?
Yeah,
And
yeah.
so
But
you
you
can beat
have to
them a
play
few
people.
times. You have
Yeah.
to be able to give up big spots. You have to be able to play people. You have to do, you know, you have to do things that sometimes you're not going to like.
Well, it's funny because people say like I seen like a couple comments or something saying about uh, you know, first time I won on Tony in a while, or first time Tony's won in a while. Thinking to myself, man, well, you go play the guys I'm playing and tell me, it ain't like I'm getting up there playing these guys even all the time. Sometimes I'm giving up weight, sometimes I'm doing this, sometimes I'm doing that. It's hard. You
And
can't, you're not going
yeah,
to win. Uh, I'm not playing Willie Lump Lump. I'm playing the best of the best all the time. You know what I mean?
one thing though, dude, and I know you ain't going to take nobody's advice, but one thing is fuck the people online.
No, yeah.
You can't look at people's
Everybody we talk
comments.
to is talking about that. It's crazy what they're
You
saying out
can't
there.
though. I mean, I don't
Oh,
do it. I
here's the
don't do
better
it.
one. Here's the better one. How many times people say I pull my shorts up? Who gives a fuck if I pull them up 1,000 times? What are you
But
worried about my fucking shorts for, you fucking idiot? Like, are
so,
you worried about whether or not I'm wearing capris or pants? I mean, God, like this is so stupid. Like, listen, I don't wear belts because of one, it's a medical issue. Two, I don't my shorts just slide. They kind of slide a little bit, and I wear looser clothing for a reason,
no,
medically wise.
yeah.
And so it's super annoying hearing it. And then on the worst part is like I sit there and tell people about my condition and they still wonder why I walk slow or I walk. I'm like, I mean, is it that I get it. Not everybody's going to see every post or whatever of why, your situation is whatever it is. But God damn, like tune
So
in a little bit. Like you tune in like when them fucking free streams are up there, tune into the rest of the shit too, motherfuckers.
So Tony, let's touch on that.
Yeah.
I know Bobby was going to ask it anyway. But it's I haven't looked it up, but I know your skin disease so well, and
Yeah.
it's very very rare. I try to explain to people hydrosupertitis,
Hydronitis suppurativa.
hydrogenitis suppurativa.
Yeah.
I do you care if I talk about when we
No,
were?
go ahead.
Yeah. So Tony and I were rooming in Kentucky. I think it was the pre-Derby.
Yeah.
And I actually beat Tony in the semifinals, but that's off the record. Federer beat me in the finals. But one night we're in there in the room, and Tony and I've known each other for freaking 30 years. I got to see his wounds, and I can tell you, it's pretty freaking severe. So just imagine my pinky, about that size, a perfect hole, almost like, let's say, a 40 millimeter bullet, going 6 to 8 inches into your skin, maybe 3 to 4 inches into your skin. Just perfect holes. And just imagine numerous ones of those, right? So the problem is there's a lot of problems, and I'm sure Tony's going to talk about it, but there's big problems with that. Because if it heals or seals up on the outside, now it starts to pus, right? And this
Well, it
disease
creates
comes
a
up,
boil.
a boil,
Yeah.
pusses, same thing.
Well, no, it's because once it's enclosed, it has no way to exit.
Okay.
Uh,
Well, right. Okay. Yeah, absolutely. Makes sense.
but
So
without
this happens,
like
Tony.
yeah.
This happens in your darker, like in the areas where you said, like under your armpits, under your
It
stomach,
happens wherever you sweat. Like so your groin areas, say you're in between your legs, say your armpits, say
your
any
stomach.
underneath any skin flap like your armpits or underneath your stomach lining. These are all areas that are so the condition it probably messes up about 1% of the population. They don't have a cure for it. Mine is severe enough to where I have to get surgery at this point because if I don't, there's no there's no way for me to get better, 100%.
Right.
So at
Right.
this point, I've been trying to fight to get the surgery, and I've been doing it for about 5 to 6 years. But the last 3 years really got bad, and now I'm at the point where I can barely even sit. So like, I played the Buffaloes event. I never sat down one match.
I know.
I stood to the side and I just, even when I played like, if I do sit, I'm sitting very tenderly and figuring out a way to like where it's, feel okay, right? So it's like, I don't know. It's gotten really bad where, like I said, next week I finally got referred to another doctor, but I'm playing a referral game right now. But this referral right here, if they tell me that they're going to refer me to somebody else, I'm just going to tell them, man, like, listen, man, quit playing around. Like, this is not no time. I'm not just going to keep seeing one doctor to the next. Like, you guys should be able to fucking figure it out. You guys have already referred me enough times. And I've taken all the medicines. They haven't worked. So at the end of the day, the medicines they give were just like to control the inflammation, let's just say, right? So honestly, the last few weeks, like I'm not a big pill taker or nothing like that, but I started to take some ibuprofen 800s and take shit just to try to get some relief a little bit because that's how bad it was. And I'm just
How do
I'm
you
in
sleep?
that. I don't.
How do you
I
sleep?
can't. I
You got to
can't.
sleep on your back though, right?
I can sleep, but I'm gonna toss and turn every hour, and every time I turn, I hurt.
Yeah.
So now when you turn and you hurt, you're going to stay up for 15 minutes before you wake or before you turn again or before you go to sleep. So it's kind of like I get broken sleep. I might sleep 2 hours, wake up, and as soon as I try to turn or something, it hurts more. So it's kind of like I'm just staying in a fucked up spot, period.
It's no joke. It's
No,
absolutely
like
no
I
joke.
mean, my posture's gotten so bad. Just like now, I was just kind of like kneeling down. And you were asking
Yeah.
me to put the camera up. Well, it's because my back's hurting just from the way I'm sitting, let's just say, right? So it's kind of like, it's just it's
It's
nothing
tough.
I would ever wish on anyone.
It's tough because, like you said, you see, you alluded to this earlier. You said sometimes it feels better just to play pool, probably because you get your mind off a little bit and you're
Yeah.
moving. So
Yes.
the hard part is you can't sit, you can't sleep, you
Yeah.
can't really do anything to ever relax. Correct?
Yeah. Yeah. I mean,
Yeah.
I'm in constant pain nonstop every day. So it's kind of like, it ain't no sob story. Like, I hate for people to even think that that's what I'm trying to play on people. You know what I mean? But it's real. It's
Yeah,
this
that's
pain is nothing that I've ever fucking felt before. And now I understand when people say that they're in a lot of pain, I kind of understand it a little more because now I know what I go through and I can only imagine what somebody else goes through. Theirs might not be as bad as mine, might be as bad as theirs. So I don't know. You know what I mean? But it's not about comparing. It's just kind of having compassion for somebody that's going through whatever they're going through.
well, that's why I highlighted like what I saw firsthand. And right when I saw that, you and I
Yeah.
talked all night long. Like
Yeah.
I was doing anything I could to try and get you help, but people don't understand is the surgery is nowhere near 100% either.
No.
It's nowhere near that. Actually, what are the stats on the surgery? Do you even know that, Tony? It's like you're an
Like
underdog.
80%, I think.
Okay. Oh, so it's gone up since 3 years
What
ago.
did you
Since
see?
I thought you had said it was like
Oh,
50%
I
or
mean, no, I mean, here's the difference. It's only 50% if it doesn't go right, right? Then you're a part of the 20%, let's just say, right? So you don't know who's like reporting it or whatever. But I mean, doctors will say that it could be, there's no guarantees by no means, right? But here's the difference. If the doctor helps clean up an area that you no longer have wounds, that you no longer have sweat glands or follicles there, well, shit, there's no way. I mean, here's the difference. Even if it comes back, maybe I can control it at that point.
right. Right.
But I can't control something that I'm already at the worst stage of it. So,
Then
yeah.
you could do something and help you out a little bit, get you out of some of that pain, and hopefully
Yeah,
get
I
you
mean, the
back
thing
to.
is, they want to put you on, antibiotics. They want to put you on these shots and shit, and they don't do nothing. Like, I mean, basically, it becomes kind of like a MRSA case or sepsis in a way. If you can't, because you're having bacteria in your body and it's fighting, all the time. So it's kind of like it just, it's kind of just sucks in a way, but it ain't to the extent of MRSA or like sepsis or anything like that, but you never know. You know what I mean? Like if you don't take care of it, or if you don't clean the areas, or you don't change your bandages and stuff like that. I mean, I spend $100 a week just on bandages sometimes. I mean, it's a
Dude,
joke.
Dude, I got bit by a black widow years ago. I was in the hospital for almost a month, and I got MRSA from the bite,
Yeah.
and it was horrifying. But what I've seen with you seems freaking. It's just terrifying.
Yeah.
It's fucking terrifying, dude.
Yeah.
Let's change the pace here a little bit. Let's talk a little bit about Tony. You're one of the most, you get a lot of negative press online, right? But you also get a lot of positive. You have a huge following, and I'm assuming it's because of the heart that you have and the gambling stories you have. One thing, why do you think that is? Why do you think people relate to you a little bit? You put a post out there, you get a lot of people comment. What do you think that drags you into that? Drags people into you?
Well, because I'm outgoing, I'm not a piece of shit to people. I've talked to somebody just like I talked to somebody I've never met, or I mean, I met, that I've known for 10 years. I can still talk to that same person the first time I meet him, you know what I mean? But I will say this much, it does, when you're in a lot of pain, I'm kind of surprised that I've actually still been able to play pool and still be able to do what I've done with the pain I'm in, but also the fact that I've been able to maintain being able to put a smile on my face in front of people because, pain can make you start to be irritable to people, you know what I mean? And it can make you say shit that, comes off derogatory, let's
Of
say, right?
course, of course. Put you
So
in a
Yeah,
different
yeah,
frame of
I'm
mind.
kind of proud of myself to not be able to, be that person where I'm acting shitty because of my situation. You know what I mean? So, but some people don't know how to stop at some point. Some people just don't know how to fucking,
yeah.
hey, I gave you my conversation. Maybe you leave me alone for a second. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
you know,
I gave
but
up on Messenger, Tony. Like I don't go to Messenger anymore. But to
yeah,
Bobby's question, I'm not trying to cut you off,
yeah,
but you do post a lot. You put it out there, right? Like,
yeah,
hey, I'm sick of this. I'm ready. Who wants to play? This, that,
yeah.
the other. I think it's good
Well,
and
people
bad.
want to see, they want to see the action. Like I
But
said,
for you
yeah,
personally, I
yeah,
think at times it drives you down a road. If you read, I like everybody likes you doing it, but I
yeah.
like you doing it and then just fucking staying away from the comments. I think that
Yeah.
that's what can drive people through the wall.
No,
I'm losing
I don't
focus.
really care.
Hold on one sec, guys. I'm losing focus on your camera a little bit, Scott. When I see you, when you're on, when
Maybe
you're
I'm not close enough. There we go. That's
okay,
what it
yeah.
is. I'm not
All right,
close enough.
all right, perfect.
Go
All right,
ahead.
sorry. Go ahead.
Yeah, so I mean, yeah, I mean, the call outs and all that stuff, yeah, I like to do it, but like I said, man, there's not a whole lot of success behind it because I mean, the people I'm trying to call out don't have no heart. Ain't got no
Yeah.
fight, you know what I mean? Or they got too,
Yeah.
they got too much money or whatever. So, I mean, I asked somebody that beat me to play again the same way, same money or more, and I can't play those games. So, like, what's the point? What am I going to chase a dead cat? Am I chasing something there's no point of chasing?
I agree.
You
I
know,
agree.
it's not, it kind of, I'm at the point where it's kind of gotten old. You know what I mean? As much as I like doing it, I like to get in action, don't get me wrong. But I mean, the woofing and, but these guys nowadays, man, it's a different era, man. It's not even the same. It's not, I mean, you got guys that, I would say something, but I'm not even going to say it just because, it just kind of, I'm not going to talk down about some people, but I mean, I'd love to. Don't get me wrong, but I'm just not going to be that guy right now.
Well,
Floor's
it's
yours.
draining. It's draining, right? When you're making them posts, I know it's draining because towards the end of my career, I was doing the same thing. Literally, we were pretty close to the same, and it's
Yeah.
draining because and when I made that post, I want to see if anybody pipes up within that post, right? Because if they do, then that's my target. But
Yeah.
in the
The
same
players don't never pipe up.
no, they don't.
It's the people that like pool want to pipe up on someone else's, you know, uh behalf. But meanwhile, they're not going to bet $2. You know what I mean? So
that's where I was
at the
going
end of
with
the
it.
day, it's kind of like it's just a joke to even really do it anymore because even the person you're calling out, oh, let me see if I could get the money together, and then you don't hear nothing for him. Like, I mean, like Bergman. I mean, here, I'll give you an example. He beats me. I'm willing to play. Some guys said that they would put up the money for him, and I said, okay. And then ghost, right? No, I mean, I ain't heard from Bergman no more, right? And he ain't trying to play me no more. I already know. You know what I mean? It's just what it is, right?
Do you know why that is?
So be it, right?
Do you have
But
any
at the end
reason
of the
why that
day,
is?
but at the end of the day, I'm tired of seeing them guys getting action too. Like if you're not gonna give people a bet back after you beat them a certain way, don't play no more, man. Like or the people that are gonna gamble out there, don't gamble with those type of people no more. And I'm not just saying about Bergman because I mean it's nothing against Bergman, but at the end of the day, like don't just come out once every year and come play and win the money and then go hide. You know what I mean? Like it's not cool. You know what I mean? Like we're trying to do, you're playing pool for your livelihood. You know what I'm saying? Like ain't nothing wrong with gambling a little bit. I mean, here's the difference. I'm not asking you to bet no more than what you want. But at the end of the day, it's just, it is what it is. I mean, some matches, you know what I mean? Like people don't show up with the money, that's supposed to be played for. That's also irritating because now you go into the match and you don't play as hard as you did because you was thinking about, it's kind of like a letdown, right before you start playing, right? You're like, shit, it's like you were supposed to bet
Well,
20, but they come up
that's
with
kind
five.
of that's I think that I maybe I'm not sure, but I think that isn't that kind of what happened with Justin? He and you've been in that spot, but didn't he was supposed to commit to a certain number and it wasn't near that
Well, that
number?
happened. Yeah, there. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. I was
But I
just
mean, we
curious.
had some money bet on the rail, during that match. But I'm just saying, like he could play for the same amount that he bet in the middle last time and do the same thing, and then
Yeah, yeah.
the rest of the money online like the rest. You know what I mean? I mean,
Yeah.
but
Again, do you get a response? Do you know why he's not playing, or is he just
it's just motherfuckers are fucking retarded. That's all. It's just like he said he was gonna fucking bet 50,000 was the motherfucker in Josh O'Neill in Nashville, and then no, what happens? Nothing. That's what I'm saying. Like, quit fucking saying you guys are doing something unless you're ready to fucking do it. Like, it's no point. Like, don't get clout. Don't try to go chase clout when you ain't got no clout. Like, you're playing. Yeah, the only time you
Do
ever.
you think that's what they're doing?
I don't think it's what they're doing, but at the end of the day, do what the fuck you're saying you're gonna do. Don't
Yeah.
fucking get yourself piped up and make yourself look like somebody better, or yeah, you're this gambler or whatever. Play. When you should make a game, play. You know what you're in
I
for.
like Justin. I don't know what
I don't
situation
have
that
nothing
all
against
is.
Justin. I
Yeah,
like Justin, and I hate the fact that I even have to say his name, but that's
sure.
just one in instant, right?
No, I get it.
I mean,
I get it.
it's just kind of just one of those things, it's just it's I'm not looking to play a match once every 2, 3 years. Like if I can't play once every couple months at least, like it doesn't really make sense to sit here and try to gamble with people when they're not willing to. But like you said, we're just barking up a fucking dead horse because this time's changed and it is what it is. But also, don't show action to people that won't show you action back. If I
So
wanted to
who's
get
on
an
the list?
action,
Who's on the top of your
I don't give
list
a
right
fuck
now?
who. They all got it. What do you mean? I've never said no to nobody. Have I?
call them all out? Call them all out.
Well, I'm just
What
saying,
about?
have I? Have I?
No, no, not. I don't know the games. I mean,
I'm just saying, who have I said no to? I don't know.
you would you play Alex even, right?
No, I could still get 9-8 because he beat me.
Okay, I don't
I
really
mean,
know
when you
that.
beat somebody, you gotta be able to get the same thing you fucking got beat with, all right? Listen, and he's another motherfucker.
Times change. Times change. T
Why?
Rex.
Why?
Times change. He's
It
been
ain't
playing
been that
Chinese
long.
eight ball. He's been playing
I don't
Chinese
give a
eight ball.
fuck. I'm fucking sitting on my ass, fucking catering to my wounds. Shit,
Yeah,
times have changed. Times have changed.
yeah.
Shit goes both ways. Shit. Doesn't mean that, I'm just saying it's just, it's like one of those things, right? It's just, I mean, I asked to play people. I get beat. Their schedule's too busy. They can't play. Got to wait a year. Not interested. I just quit chasing those guys. You know what I mean? I'm not even wanting to play those guys no more because I can't get action back. I want to play a guy that wants to come sit with me and we're going to play for 1 week straight. Just tell me where. We'll play about 6 to 8 hours every day. We'll play a dime to 2 dimes a game. And whenever the 7 days is up, you can leave. However you stand. If you're even, you're up 2 games, you're down 2 games, whatever you want to do. But if I got to
Yeah.
play something, I got to play someone tough, then I want to sit there and play. And I'm not in the best of shape to be saying I'm going to play somebody for 7 days for 6 to 8 hours. So, I mean, just tells you that, here, if you got a motherfucking handicap motherfucker telling you he'll play and you won't play him, there's something wrong with you, you know?
Hey, Tony,
Just,
let's talk about what was your biggest win in pool? What was your most gratifying win growing up? Is it something early on, something of late? Your most gratifying win where you look back and you're like, that's what I
I
did.
mean,
That's
beating Dennis the first time we played was like a gratifying win just because there was a lot of good shots in the match and stuff like that. Um, there was other, let's say winning Buffaloes a few times, you know what I mean? Those were gratifying. Winning Derby was gratifying, just because Derby was just kind of one of those things that kept eluding me for so many years, and I finally did win it. And
What
I
what
just
what was the difference the time you won it? What do you think the difference was when you were so
they
close
had
so many
tighter
times?
tables. They had tighter tables that
So it
year.
favored you with the tighter
Well, I
tables.
just feel like the moving comes into play and people can't do, the other good players are not, firing into a 4.5 inch hole. You're firing into a 4 1/8 or a 4 1/4 or whatever it was. But, it makes a difference, right? So it's kind of like, you know, I mean, one pocket's a game that should be played on something semi decently tight, right?
So yeah, pick one match. What match? Your best match you feel like? Was it the
I
Dennis
think
or
me
was
and
it
Dennis,
Derby?
because me beating him, it was just kind of one of those things, and we bet some decent money, and there was just a lot of good shots on that. Like I don't think I could ever reiterate all those shots, really. You know what I mean? If I tried to do it ever again, I probably could never do it again. But hey, it counts when you do it, right? So that's all that
hundred
matters.
percent, a hundred
It doesn't
percent.
matter about when, just as long as you do it when you need to, So it's kind of like, but yeah, that was probably one of my better ones for sure.
All right. Scott loves when I do this. We always switch it up. And what was your worst defeat? What was the one that crushed you, where you thought about saying hanging it up, or you came back and said, I'm gonna win play again? What was the toughest loss?
Honestly, I don't know because I don't never really take nothing tough. I just ready to play again.
I know that one match. What oh, was it the last time you and Alex played where he went to the
Oh, now that was irritating. Yeah, because fucking he did pull a move there, and that's
tell
another
us
reason why I kind
what
of
he
don't
do?
care to play him. Oh fuck! I mean, he's up like 28 to 21 or 22, and we're going to like 35 or something like that. But anyways, I get it back to 28-28, and he goes ghost. He's nowhere in the pool hall. He's nobody knows where he went. Goes ghost for like an hour and a half, 2 hours. Don't fucking tell nobody. And it's a streamed match, so it's like we have to continue to keep playing even when he comes. But it was just a fucking move. I mean, I'm fucking, you know what I mean, running, doing everything right, and it's just,
Yeah, we were all a little bit surprised there. I was commentating.
well, it's just shitty
Ellie
moves.
never
You know what
comes
I'm
in,
saying? Like, here's a
but
different player.
nobody knew where he went.
Yeah,
I
yeah, I
do
mean,
remember that. I do remember that.
And then he tried to say that I pull moves by going to smoke a cigarette. I said, motherfucker, I made it non-smoking in this pool hall so you would be willing to play. What you want me to do? You don't want, and it ain't like I'm smoking, like I'm not going out there and sitting there for longer than 5-7 minutes. I'm just smoking a cigarette and going right back in.
Yeah.
So don't act like, you know what I mean? Like I'm pulling moves because that's the farthest I am. Never pulled a move playing pool ever in my life against somebody. I don't need to. I don't care. If you beat me, and I'll play you again. It is what it is. But that was a move, 100%. But there's some people just I don't know. And I like Alex. Nothing against Alex, but it's just it's just kind of a shitty move to do, especially with a guy that's been showing you action. It ain't like nobody else in the world has shown him as much action as I have ever.
You show
Uh,
action. You
yeah.
show action
Yeah,
for
it
sure.
I mean,
does.
I played him a set for 100 and
SVB, you played
twice.
you've played SVB the last couple of times and that didn't go your way. I get it. I
Yeah.
get it.
Shit, we were just in Texas Open. I told SVB, come on, play your set for 20 right now. Nah, nah. I play when I want to play. Nah. I said, don't worry, we don't have to ever play. I don't really care.
Just
I
so
got no
everybody
problem with it.
knows. Yeah, just so everybody knows, Shane and Tony get along. Like
Yeah.
Shane's all right, but
It's just
Tony's had
the
enough of it. Tony, you've had
yeah,
enough
it's
of
just
it.
not it's not interesting to play people that you can't get to play over and over and over when you want to. You know what I mean? Like if I beat
Well,
a guy at a 10,000 today and he has to play next week, you got to bet. Come on.
I think, but I'm
Just to
thinking
change his
about
mindset.
this.
Yeah.
I'm thinking about this, Tony, and one thing that's different is that you're in action and other things as well, right? All
Yeah.
the time. And I
Yeah.
think that I'm not making excuses for these players, but other people are different than you, and the
No,
people that know you
100%.
know
But
that,
but
right?
Yeah.
I got to jump in there too, though, like Scott, right? Even when I first, one of the first things we've always taught people when you gamble, right? If you beat somebody, right, you have to give them a shot. No, that
Yeah,
was
I
It's
mean
an
that's
so hard,
honorary
customary.
thing to
right?
do.
Yeah, it's customary. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, that's what you're supposed to do. I mean that, but now, what? Listen, when you're getting into these bigger money matches, and
Yeah.
the freaking problem is social media and people talking, things can change. I mean, this is the problem, in my opinion, with money pool. Now, I'm a fan of where pool's headed, but I just wish Tony the best. I know he's not going to get the action he wants to get, and I know how good he still plays. So I'm hoping he gets his surgery and gets his ass out there and plays a couple of big
I mean, don't get me.
rotation
I
events.
will say this much: if I get my surgery, I won't be smoking cigarettes no more.
Yeah.
I will be 100% about like you might see another gear.
Yeah.
Like I mean, I just feel like that because I mean, in my mind, I'm a little down and out just with pain, but in my mind, I know that if I do get better and I don't have the pain, if I'm playing this good with pain, what's going to happen without pain?
Yeah. You just don't
Yeah.
know.
Yeah.
You would expect you to play even better.
Right, the sky's the limit. All right, let's talk a little bit about your road stories. What's your best road story? Whether it was Scott or somebody else, whether it was $100, 5,000, 1,000. You went on the road, maybe fighting against somebody that you shouldn't won or you could have won. Well, yeah, any good story there that you want to talk about that was like, this is pretty awesome. This is fucking amazing.
See,
What do you got?
road stories like we played like me and Amar played a we had to play Scotch doubles and I wasn't as good of a player at that time during that first road trip and we played Barry Strickland and we played a set for like 50 and I would get out of line every single shot and Amar would get us back in line and he'd be like, man, what the hell's wrong with you, dude? Like fucking just make the ball but leave me a shot. Like I'd leave him the worst shape every single time and he'd make this crazy shot and get me back in line and I'd be like, but it just put more pressure on me because it's like every time you dog it, you start to dog it a little more, and you're like, what the fuck? You know what I mean? It's like you're not even trying to dog the shape, but you just do, it's just kind of just unintentional, let's just say, right? But we ended up winning the set. I don't know how, but it
Who
wasn't
were you
thanks
guys
to,
playing? Who were you
we
guys
were
playing?
playing Barry Strickland in Houston, and we were playing, it was me and Amar had to play Scotch doubles against him. And this was in like the year 2000, 2001, let's say, right?
Yeah.
But no, it was a good set. I mean, it's crazy because back then, there was so much action in Houston and stuff at that time. 99 to like 2002, it was like you could go to the pool room and play for 500 to 2000 every single day. Just good times, I mean, it's just you don't see that as much often anymore, right? Like, there's not really a city you can go to where there's really a whole lot of action all the time, but there's the certain people that you can gamble with that are still out there in certain areas that, so I still make my rounds. I might not tell people where I'm going because that's not me. I don't need to tell people where I'm trying to make money because there's no point, right? Like I don't need people to know exactly where, you know, the spots are or whatever, let's just say, right? So I still try to make my way when I have a chance to. And, um, like I said, I mean, I want to be lazy because of the pain I'm in, but I can't, right? Because bills don't stop, right? So it's kind of like you just keep going and you keep pressing yourself. And I'm just kind of like, I got to lose some of my bad habits in order to sustain some normality in my life. So I've been trying to do that a little bit and just making
That's
myself
good.
better. I'm just really just looking to make myself better in the end of the day right now because gambling and all that stuff will still be there later on in life if I want it that bad so badly. But at the end of the day, the kind of gambling I'm doing is not really the best gambling in the world because nobody ever
Hmm.
wins at it, let's just say, right?
Yeah.
We just talked to Oscar our last podcast, and he had something similar to say. He said he feel like he's getting a little bit older, and gambling used to be, this part of his life. He says gambling now's the worst, but now it's he wants to be this part of his life.
Yeah.
He's trying.
Tony's also Bobby, and I'm going to say it because Tony don't care.
Yeah, I
Tony's
got it.
also touching on. He bets sports a lot,
Yeah.
right? Like really
Right.
a lot.
That's what I meant, gambling at home. I think, yeah,
Yeah, I don't
that's
think
what I was
Oscar
talking.
really did that.
No,
No,
no.
I see what you're saying, though. I see what you're
Yeah,
saying.
yeah,
I see what you're saying.
yeah.
yeah.
So
But for me, it's just, I just got to lose the bad habits and, maximize the fact that I do have a good, name in pool and people are willing to do lessons and people are willing to play me and people are willing to do certain things that I need to maximize it and do something good with whatever I can earn to get by in the hard times that I'm facing now. Let's just say, and for instance, to help me pay bills, to just in case, because if I have surgery, I'll be down for about a month or two for sure. I don't.
Well,
I won't.
I
I won't be able to do nothing for at least a couple months.
you got commentary gigs going now, right? I mean,
Yeah.
I put you with Kevin
Yeah.
Ross,
Yeah.
Railbirds TV. He said you did great. Everybody loved you, which I already knew. There's money in it, right? You can,
Yeah.
you know, if I think
If I'm down and out, at least that I can do that or something. You know what I mean? For sure.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, absolutely. There's
Nice,
money in
nice.
lessons. Yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah, money and lessons, money
Well, that's
and
what I've normally been doing, right? But it's kind of like, I try to space out where I'm going and stuff. And, so
sure.
long as I can get
yeah.
somebody to kind of orchestrate it to make sure there's enough lessons in that area, then I would come. But it's, it takes somebody that's willing
Knows
and
what
able
they're doing,
to
yeah,
do it.
to
Yeah.
help. Yeah, you got to
And
know. I know that. I get that too.
yeah.
When I have pros come to our room, you got to
Yeah.
try to set it up and make sure that, because some rooms you can go to, there's nothing. There's no
No,
gambling.
right.
There's no lessons. And
Right.
some you have a little bit of gambling. Some you have a little bit of lessons. So you got to know somebody in there. But,
Yeah.
This episode is brought to you by Wes Nemmers and Anytime Billiards out of Des Moines, Iowa. If you're looking to get a brand new or tournament used diamond pool table, Anytime Billiards is your spot. Please check them out. Look them up. Anytime Billiards, Des Moines, Iowa. Thank you, Wes and the team, for your support.
I do want to know, and everybody wants to know, where T-Rex? What's T-Rex? Where do we get T-Rex from? What's that all about? And that name is probably stuck more than I think almost any whole nickname in the world.
So a lifelong friend, he gave it to me because he said, man, he said, you got long pockets, but you got short arms, basically referring to the fact that I wasn't, peeling any money out, Like, yeah, I mean, so it was kind of like that, it just kind of came up as that and kind of stuck, it
That's
was
so
kind of
funny.
an inside thing. And then I just said, fuck it, we'll run with it.
And it's very, very true as well. The short arms is very true.
That's awesome.
I
We
can't
always thought it
afford to
was.
have long arms yet. But
Oh,
yeah.
all right,
No,
man. Hey, thank you for joining us. Appreciate your time,
no problem.
Tony. And hopefully we'll have you on again at some point next couple seasons. And hope your surgery goes well. And we want to see you keep playing those action matches, man, because we really enjoy it. I know it was the talk of the town, whether some was negative, some were positive, but
No, for sure.
it gave a buzz in the pool world, you playing for
Yeah.
sure.
Yeah,
No,
100%.
I enjoy it. Like I said, I thrive on being able to play big sets and, being able to try to focus in a little more. So, yeah. But
Thank you, Tony, for coming on. My advice: keep making those posts because we love them. Just don't read the freaking comments because they're going to reach out to you anyway.
yeah.
All right.
All right. I appreciate you guys.
Thank you,
All
bro.
right, man. Thanks a lot, Tony. We'll see you later,
All right.
man.
See you guys.
Shout out to our amazing sponsors, Classic Billiards, Metro Sportz Bar, Anytime Billiards, PNW Pool Thing, the RACK Billiard Club, J.P. Shower, Tommy's Tattoo Supplies, In the Box, Andy Gow, and Wayne Harriman. Make sure to check them out, and thanks for supporting the Boom and Freezer Show.